Today I feel like talking about the 5 things that photography has taught me. See, the first thing that photography has taught me is patience. Patience is a hard thing to come by whenever it comes down to creating just your photos or everything, because sometimes we feel rushed and we're not willing to stay put in one spot just to kind of find the right composition of things to create. Sometimes the biggest issue when it comes down to being a person nowadays, I feel like it's easier to get mad or frustrated than to learn from the process and become more patient. For myself, I never was the most patient person. To be honest, as a kid, probably most thought that I was going to be a little bit just more, I guess, not so much hot-headed, but in the sense of I wouldn't be the most patient and understanding with certain things because I wanted it to already either happen or, happen the way that I would want it to as fast as possible. But with photography, one of the things that I've gotten really good at is become patient with my craft, the process, and as well just people in general. And with being patient, you have to sometimes understand that there's a process to everything, and it's okay to scrap an idea when it doesn't reach your standards, which is the next point. It's okay to scrap an idea. See, for myself, there's been countless of times where I've made the idea of something that I want to film and create, and in reality, it just wasn't a good idea, and I knew that it was fine to scrap it despite of putting countless of hours and just, time and effort into it. But knowing and understanding that it's okay that I can scrap the idea and better put the energy to the next one is always fine with me, and that's what has helped me out a lot with photography, because there's been a lot of situations where I want to create a certain type of photo and, especially for a YouTube video, and sometimes it just doesn't go the way that I wanted to, and I realized that it's just better to scrap it and move on. And for the next point, it's okay to try again. Sometimes moving on from an idea, like we talked before, it's okay to, in a sense, move on from that idea, but try it again at a different angle. Most of the time, we see ourselves in a narrow view sometimes when it comes into our creation, that we're not wanting to kind of look outside of the general direction of what we're trying to do, when in reality, the idea could be good, but we have to try it in a different method. And for me, I've learned that a lot with photography. I've taken countless of photos at same locations, like being here, not just because it's my location that is available to me, but it's also to try out again, an idea that I wanted to do that maybe didn't go 100% the way that I wanted to make it better. For me, I've tried a lot of ideas again, especially because I just want to try something different with the location, but trying it again in the sense that it's something similar to it, that I just want to see what different result could I get if I try the idea again with certain similarities, but also discrepancies of it to make something different. Like, for example, that bridge over there, I've been able to make a lot of photos underneath it and over it and everything, but I take different ideas every time that I try again to see what I can create with it, to see if I can make something better every time that I step there by trying again something new or something relevant to the same idea that I've had before. The next thing is, don't fear the process. So when it comes down to the process, I feel like most of us don't understand it sometimes, because the vision of being creative and taking photos, for example, is we have to kind of paint it ourselves. So sometimes the process can be scary, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating and everything, but that is what it is. It's the process. We can't fear it in the sense of that, because like how I tell you my students from my tennis academy, if you just kind of go with what you're supposed to be doing and your plan of action, just trust the process and the result will come out. And as a creative person and just creating photos and everything, for me, the process is understanding that I need to be patient. I need to just, set myself in the mindset that I want to create the certain things that I want to, have a plan of action, and just be trusting that it's going to pan out how I want it to. A lot of the times, even being here, for example, I've had it where I've been wanting to take a photo, and sometimes I feel like the process isn't going how I want it to, and then all of a sudden I get to take the photo that I want to, and I've been wanting to take that day where it just makes sense. So it's okay to just, kind of have that mindset where you feel like something could, go wrong, because it's good to be on that edge, but you got to adapt to it, but don't fear the process. And lastly, it's okay to be proud of what you create. See, I feel like us as creatives, just creative people in general, it's always sometimes hard to be proud of your work, because the more you look at it, the more sometimes you kind of overthink it, or the more you hear, like for example, if you're a musician, sometimes you start doubting what you've created. And to me personally, I think it's okay to be proud of what you've created, and you probably should be more proud of it more often into that aspect. For myself, I've learned to be a better person to myself in that aspect, where I create something, and if I'm happy about it, I'll stay happy with it and be proud that I went out and created something, whether I got the result that I wanted or I didn't. A lot of the times we like to overthink that we could have done better, we could have done certain things differently, but in reality, what you have to think about is that you went and did it and captured what you needed to capture. And there's always next time to improve if you want to, but take the wins when you get them. And that for me is something very important that photography has taught me. And in general, just creating content and photography, videography kind of style of things, that I just have to be proud of what I've created and just be happy. Well, those are the things that photography have taught me. For me personally, it's just something that has helped out to be a better content creator and everything that I've been able to create with these things. So I'm curious to know what photography has taught you. So please go ahead and type it down below. Let me know so that way I can see what you've learned from photography. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. The friend will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.